Hi Post-16, welcome to our weekly community briefing. I'm coming to you from my house. I hope you are all safe and well in your house, and that you are all feeling positive and upbeat about the situation that we're in. More of the reasons why we should be feeling upbeat a little bit later on in the briefing. A reminder for you that the normal day-to-day stuff that we're posting in our community Google Classroom is happening every single day. We're posting every single day, sometimes twice, 3 times, 4 times a day, with all kinds of stuff in there that we feel like you would benefit from hearing. The kind of things that we're posting in there for you are a combination of stuff to keep you feeling positive and uplifted and entertained, things that are going to fill your time, things that are going to put you in a positive mindset. Lucy has begun posting now for the last week a daily dose of positivity for you, things that can help frame a positive mindset for you, and we're really grateful to her for doing that. We're also posting on there official announcements that come to us from the government, Department for Education, from Ofqual, and from the exam boards. And we are hoping that next week we will hear from Pearson the official decision about how they're going to calculate vocational subjects grades this summer. So watch this space. Hopefully we'll be able to give you a detailed update on the classroom next week, and in the briefing video as well. I'm also posting on there volunteering and employment opportunities for you to give you a positive and a constructive way to fill your time, especially if you're in year 13 and you've suddenly found yourself with lots of time on your hands. And we're also, very importantly, posting things on there that are designed to help you with securing your intended destination, and that's if you're in year 12 or in year 13 actually. I'm posting on there job opportunities that are being sent to me. I'm posting on there services that are being offered to you to help you prepare for employment or for apprenticeships. I'm posting all kinds of material on there from UCAS that's designed to help you to make sure that you're ready either to start in September or to get your application in if you're in year 12. The most important thing that I feel like I have put out there recently for you is the new Post-16 Options website that I've made, which contains everything that I have gathered together over the last 3 or 4 years in terms of advice and guidance on how to secure your intended destination at the end of year 13. And there's so much stuff on there that can help you if you're in year 13 now and are maybe looking for a job or looking for an apprenticeship or trying to still secure a gap year. There's all kinds of stuff on there that year 12 need to be actively using at the moment with their parents to help you begin the process of deciding what you want your destination to be at the end of year 13. It's divided up on there for you to focus on tips and advice and guidance and support for how to get employment, apprenticeships, how to get into university, and how to secure a gap year. And year 12, you need to be actively using that now, because if you wait until when schools reopen, you may find that you are pushed for time to complete all of the research that is recommended that you do to enable you to get applications underway when you get back into year 13. You access the Google site that I made, the Post-16 Options site, from the main Academy website. You go to the main menu at the top and go to where it says Post-16, and on the drop down you will find there Post-16 Options, and it takes you through to the site, and then you can navigate your way through and use the materials that are on there. This week's parade standard focus, I'm afraid I'm having to return to the concept of attendance. Now, 2 weeks ago in our briefing, I talked to you that how we monitor attendance at the moment is by measuring your level of engagement with the work that's being asked from you. And I've left it 2 weeks, having put that message out there to you. Teachers have been in contact with students during that 2-week period, and I'm now in a position to be able to kind of give a little bit of feedback on the engagement levels that we are seeing from you. So, Year 13 BTech students, you have had significantly longer than A-level students or IB students to be able to continue doing work that can influence your teachers in their decision making when they're working out your calculated assessment grade, the grade that we are putting into the exam board for you as what we hope the exam board are going to award you this summer. Having had significantly longer, I am a little bit surprised and concerned that I've had lots of BTech teachers reporting back to me saying that they are struggling to get responses to the emails that they are sending to you with feedback and tips and advice, and they are struggling sometimes to get improved work back from you. Now, when we hear from Pearson, hopefully at the start of next week, at that point, that will be when the time for you to continue working on your coursework comes to an end. So you need to be taking advantage of it in these last few days now, because any tweaks or changes and improvements you make now could influence your teachers between one grade and another grade when they're calculating what they think you should have finished with this summer. So Year 13 BTech students, you've got a last few days to have a push to complete any work that you want to. You don't have to have every single unit of coursework completed, but the more you can complete, the easier it will be for your teachers to justify to Pearson why they want to give you the grades that they do. Year 12 students, in terms of your level of engagement at the moment, I've actually been quite shocked in the last 2 weeks. The average engagement rate with work being set on Google Classrooms across all subjects in Year 12 varies between about 20% of you completing work and 50% of you. And that feels shockingly low. When teachers have been sending follow-up emails to students to say, are you okay? Is there a reason why you're not completing work? Is there anything I can do to help? It's a similar level of response to emails from teachers that they are reporting they're getting from you. It is really important, Year 12, that you don't use COVID-19 and the school closure as an excuse to think, oh, well, I don't need to do any work. Because when you get back into Year 13, the exam boards have already told us that they're not going to adapt the exams that you take next year. They're still going to be testing you on the full range of content from your specifications. And so they are expecting you to be working your way through units of work and covering topics during this period. So your teachers are doing everything they can to make that as easy as possible for you through Google Classroom. You need to be engaging with it, because you run the risk of when school reopens that you will be much further behind than some of your classmates. Your teachers won't necessarily have time to go over the material in the same detail. You'll be rushing to complete work that you've fallen behind on while the teachers are trying to push on and deliver new content to you. And I don't really want any of you to be in that situation. So Year 12 students, I need to see you all up in your game. I need to see more of you engaging with the work that your teachers are setting on Google Classroom. I need to see more of you submitting work to get feedback from your teachers to make sure that you don't fall behind. And finally, this week, this coming Sunday, Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, has said that he is going to be setting out the roadmap for the exit strategy from a situation of national lockdown. Now, the roadmap is not going to be we lift everything from lockdown straight away. It's likely to be that there are going to be different stages on the journey out of lockdown. Somewhere on that roadmap, Boris Johnson is going to give an indication about when he thinks schools might reopen, and he's going to give an indication about which year groups are likely to come back to school first. We are anticipating that in secondary schools that he is likely to say that Year 10 and Year 12 will be coming back to school first. What we don't know at the moment is where on the roadmap Year 12 returning to school is likely to feature. Quite often, what we do here in England mirrors what is happening in Scotland, and the First Minister of Scotland, Nicola Sturgeon, has already said this week that Scottish schools are highly unlikely to go back before September, until after the summer holidays. Now, if England follows suit, Year 12, it might be that you aren't back in school until September. And if you're thinking about how much work you could have fallen behind with in that period, that's why it's really important that now you are keeping on top of your work and you don't let it all build up, in case Boris Johnson puts school closures coming out of lockdown, Year 12 returning to school until September after the summer holiday. Equally, if he brings it forward and Year 12 you return to school before the summer holiday, teachers are going to be on a mad scramble to try and get caught up and make sure that we get you all back on track. And what you don't want is for June or July to suddenly become horrendously busy times for you, where you're having to complete double the amount of work to normal because you didn't do the work that was being set for you during the period that the school was closed. We're used to talking about roadmaps in school. We have our own roadmap in school. This picture on the right here comes from our main reception at school. It is our own Lee learning journey. That's our roadmap that we set out for the journey we're going to take our students on from the moment they arrive in Year 7 right the way through to the time they leave us at the end of Year 13. That journey continues whether the school is open or closed, because we are expecting you to be functioning as adults, being self-motivated, being the ones to drive yourself forward on your journey. We construct the road for you. We provide the vehicle for you, but it's up to you to put fuel in that vehicle and actually make that journey yourself. We can't do that for you. We're relying on you doing that for yourself at home. So my final thought for you this week is top up your petrol tank and get that engine turned on. If you're one of the people that have fallen behind on the journey in the last few weeks, and we can totally understand why it would happen. It's been tough on everybody to keep themselves going. Now is the time to get yourself going, to rev your engine up and to get yourself back on track. Hopefully I will talk to you again next week, and I will see you then. Have a good week, everybody. Bye.